Hi, my name is Mami, and today in this video I will tell you why having a good life is a quiet act of rebellion against the system, against the society, and I will share three signs of a good life based on my own experience with you today. And if you find these signs in your life, perhaps you're going toward that good life. But what is good life? This is on its own very controversial, right? We'll get there. The first thing is, for the past few thousand years, modern human managed to put the blame of a struggling in life on the average human being. Somehow, religions, establishments convinced you or us that you gotta struggle. You gotta go through so much ups and down in life to be able to achieve something. Therefore, so many people take pride in struggling in life because that's just somehow an unwritten rule. First came with the religion that you humans are not worthy, therefore, you need to struggle, and this is for your own sin. This is simply your own doing. Therefore, in the eyes of establishments, in the eyes of corporations, in the eyes of church, in the eyes of mosque, your life doesn't have any value. Your life simply is a life full of struggle because you deserve it, because you are sinful. Therefore, the society, therefore, the system will try to convince you that, look, a struggle is very relatable. If you look at social media, for example, a struggle is very relatable, right? Even in modern world, a struggle is just very relatable. And if you look at the contents that you watch and you feel really related and feel the empathic pain between human beings, is the times that someone is struggling and then there is a feel good about it. And somehow, this social media, this world, this whole society and system convinced you that peace is something that you need to strive for it, something that you need to explore, adventure, and reach. They never show it in a way to you that peace is really available to you, acceptable. What they want to show to you is a struggle. Because if they tell you, look, relax, no worries, we'll take care of everything, life is gonna be very good, very nice, somehow equal for everyone, therefore you can perhaps relax and chill. The establishments will not let you chill. No matter how wealthy you become, no matter how rich you become in this society, the design of the system is to keep you in the struggle. If you realize this, perhaps that's the first step to self discovery, to self realization that, wait a second, is this good life that I am trying to create for myself, is even possible in this structure? Is even possible that I ever reach it? I haven't seen any satisfied customer of this world. How I can just trust this world, this system, to make me a satisfied customer? Because I don't see any peace. Therefore, I can't find it. Three signs of a good life. First, it's not loud. If one day you walk into a really nice mansion and you're supposed to meet someone that lives there, you would look around and you think to yourself, damn, this guy is having a good life. Damn, he made it. That's exactly where the good life misses its point. That's not a good life. Because good life is not luxurious. Good life is simple. Good life doesn't have much periphery. Stop this see me, I'm having a good time, a perfect life. In social media, because that's not true. You don't share the parts of your life that it's simply the struggle. Good life does not need to be fancy. Realize this. Perhaps you have already realized it. Perhaps if you are here, my audience, perhaps this is not your issue. Then let's go to the second sign. If you have that in you, that luxury does not bring any satisfaction to your life, then let's go to the second sign. A good life does not seek validation. This is the meaning of living in the moment. This is the meaning of living. When you don't seek validation, you live. When you seek validation, you miss the chance to live the moment. Now you gotta constantly live in the past or the future. But when you don't seek this validation in life, whatever it is, usually this validation comes from the people that we are living with in our immediate environment, or perhaps a little bit extended. But at the end, people who we meet. Do not seek validation from others. This is perhaps one of the most common pitfall of human beings. Again, somehow this system put the blame on humanity that seeking validation becomes the most essential need for any human being on this planet. To counter this conditioning in life that you must feel worthy of something in this world, otherwise, you cannot have a good life. Otherwise, if you are not worthy of any validation in this world, therefore, you don't deserve to have a good life. Therefore, you have to give yourself to the service of life. Therefore, you're so sinful that if you don't go give yourself to the service, then you live in constant shame and guilt. The day you realize that we live this life to live it, we live this life not to make anything out of it, we live this life to share, to love, to give, to receive, to be simply content. That's the day that you can drop this validation seeking mind. The third sign is the most important. If you already reached to a level that you are not so worried about other people's opinion in your life, you're not so worried about how others view you, maybe you check the second and you still kind of feel like, but this is not what it's supposed to be, still I feel so much struggle in life. I would say the third sign of a good life is that it's boring, at least to the eyes of system, society, the people who are part of this modern world. Because modern world somehow promoted this entertainment industry so much that we often think that we need to constantly entertain ourselves. And if we don't do that, therefore our life is not good. But in fact, if you can make your life boring to the eyes of others, when they see your life and they think, oh, how is this person really satisfied with this life? That's the time that you can awaken yourself to meditation in life. When you bring your life toward boring, then all of a sudden the taste comes back. That did not come out the way I wanted it to come out. It was very boring to listen to this part. But that could only be the way to be explained because it is boring. This life, when you look at it from the outside, life of a farmer, for example, life of a simple man, life of a villager somewhere in Himalayas that they was never in contact with the modern world, is boring to us. But that's where the life is, in the boring. I think I shared what I wanted to share, even though it feels like we need to talk more, much more, much longer. But it's okay for today. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Ah, yeah.